Welcome back, guys. We're again here at the front gates of Skinwalker Ranch, and the new season on the History Channel is just about to kick off. When you come up here and you try to visit, this place is private. There's so much research that's going on here that Brandon's doing, that Eric Bard's doing, that the whole team is doing, and then they've got all the contracts with the History Channel, that it's not like the public can just come and visit. So the place that we're going is called Thunder Strike Ranch. Burn this one into your brain. This is a family-owned property. This is the family that owns all of the cows that come and graze at Skinwalker Ranch. And now they've just bought 50 acres with a cabin and an Airbnb. And one of the first things they did was message me and invite me to come up here and install one of the modular sensors. This is going to be one of the public devices. So along with the sensor that's at my house and the one that's in Hesteland, Norway, and the other public sensors that you can access through the Patreon Inner Circle MUPAS group, this one is going to be right up in between Skinwalker Ranch and Blind Frog Ranch. So right at the south end of Blind Frog Ranch, now we've got Thunder Strike Ranch. Which way is it to Thunder Strike Ranch? That way? Okay. Staying in that little cabin right there. That or the teepee. If the MUPAS is going to work or not. Hey, the door's open. Nice. I think I'm good to go in. This is where we're going to be staying. Oh, this is sick. This is sick. So like whole groups could come up here.
In the future, I want to do like a dude ranch, you know?
Yeah. Whoa, this is way bigger than I thought.
Yeah. And when I went and checked it out, I found a whole set of bones in there.
No way. That's like a big coyote or something.
Massive. So this right here is what they thought was the mine entrance.
Oh, yeah, I can see why. Look at the cable.
And so the lady we bought it from, after they told her it was a mine entrance, she took her backhoe attachment and she started digging on it. That's why it's dug up. But this cable was in the ground, actually.
There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. I'm having such a good time on this trip. I feel like I've finally put in the time and the hours into doing these kinds of field expeditions to where I feel confident. I'm no longer like apprehensive when I hear all the stories or when we find things that could be spooky. I just am filled with confidence and filled with gratitude, and like it's just amazing to be able to come up here and do this. I feel really grateful that Donovan and his family are trusting me to come up here and help explore the history and the legacy of this place, because really, I mean, if I find something today that they've never discovered before, then it could rewrite the whole history of this whole property for the family and what it means for them and for all of us and for you. I mean, we could uncover anything up here. But we're up at the top now, and I just took a minute to kind of sit and recenter myself. Hiking around, I've got everything on my head and all these plans in my mind. It's important to remember to sit down and just like meditate and connect with the land, feel that gratitude, set your intentions in the right way so that your mind and your spirit, the reasons for being here are all for the right reasons, you know, to honor this place. That was a big old lizard. That thing was huge. Big old red lizard. Look at this geology. It's like all pancakes, right? Isn't that cool? That lizard crawled underneath there. I don't know if you can see him. Look how weird this is. That's cool. There's like pancake layers up here. Look at all those seeds. Those are called ghost beads. And that is from mice and muskrats and rats and stuff that live up in the cracks of the rocks. And they eat the seeds and then they poop those out and they dry up. And if you sanitize them, you can drill holes in them and make them into necklaces. See, here's a bunch of them on top of the rocks right here where they're rodents. But if you dig around in these with your bare hands and then stick your fingers in your mouth, or if you dig them up or start crawling around in here and you breathe in the dust out of these, you will get what's called hantavirus. And it's a deadly lung disease a parasite that gets in your lungs and will kill you. So if you ever see those ghost beads, don't dig around. Make sure and stay clear of that stuff. Don't breathe that stuff in. You always got to be mindful of, like, check for updates about mold and algae blooms and all kinds of stuff can really make you sick. Wow, it would be so amazing to find some petroglyphs. Feels promising here. It really does. We could find something. Look at this. This is like a wall. It's like a laid out wall almost. I don't know. Look at how it's so layered. That's so wild looking. I'm trying to go slow at the risk of being a little bit boring in the video because you never know, I could just glance down and see a carving at my feet. See an artifact poking out of the dirt. See a piece of pottery. Also rattlesnakes. Right? Look how beautiful that is. This life form right here is probably 200, 300 years old. Isn't that cool? Yo, this almost looks like carvings, right? I got excited for a second there. Look at that. That all looks natural to me, but I don't know. I think that's natural. Just from the rain pouring over and rocks cracking on it. But look at all this. Oh. I'm so excited. This is so fun. I hope we find something. This same geology continues up here. But there is some weird stuff. This is really pretty. That rock looks so pretty. It's also just like shaped like a big gun. Like a big Tetris piece or something. And then I was looking at this one too. Look at how that just looks like skin. Isn't that weird? Still no petroglyphs. I haven't spotted any yet. We're just going along this ridgeline looking around. Almost looked like it could have been. Right, some of these little fissures. But no, it will be pretty obvious when we find some. And I kind of keep talking like that because I feel like we're going to. I kind of feel like we're going to. Wow, the smell of the sage up here smells so good. It really smells so good up here. My intuition just told me there's snakes in here, so I'm not going to climb up there. Definitely rattlesnake country right now. One of the things that I love about being a content creator and filming everything that I do is that I realize I miss a lot when I'm out in the field. When I'm hiking around, a lot of times I have to look down at my feet. I'm watching my surroundings and I miss things. So notice in this clip, my intuition tells me that there's snakes up there, that I'm not supposed to go up there. And so I avoid this area. But then when I get home and I edit this footage later, I'm like, wow, this obviously looks like there was old campfires up here, and the lower part of these rocks is all charred. So obviously there could be something up there. And for some reason, I wasn't meant to find it this time. My intuition was like, there's snakes up there, don't go up there. And it's like almost like I didn't even see what was right in front of my face. But now that I'm home, I look at the footage, I'm editing it, and I'm like, it obviously looks like these rocks are like burned or charred or have some kind of a desert varnish that's interesting. And I need to go back up there and look again. My intuition just told me there's snakes in here, so I'm not going to climb up there. Definitely rattlesnake country right now. You're so pretty. Yes, you are. What do you say? Why don't we come and investigate some of this old abandoned mining area here? See if we can uncover some clues. Okay, so we've got these big cement forms. It looks like it was part of a structure or foundation right here. I can tell the rebar squared off, boxed, all here. There's some kind of a building or storage, busted up. Look at this, how it was cobbled, had a pipe going through it. And then there's rebar or cable. That's not rebar, that's like cable coming out of it. So what in the world would this have been for? What the heck? I don't know, some old concrete scrap. We're gonna have to look in the historical records what was going on up here. What does it say on this other side here? Zip. And then there's like a bird or a cross. Zip. What the heck? Weber, Reich, and then that same plus. Weber and Reich. Okay, is there any names? Anything carved on this? I'm gonna have to bring all my metal detector stuff up. Donovan said he had some, but boy, that would be a whole thing. Come up here and metal detect. Don't you guys think it would be cool if over Phenomicon, or if we scheduled and planned like an actual event, we rented this whole place out and we just came out and explored it all together? And it's up here so that it would be worth it. Like, you could actually go drive up to the front gates of Skinwalker Ranch. You could go up and tour up to all the Spanish stuff up behind Blind Frog and around and explore all of this. In fact, I could even come up here and do it with you. That would be like the whole point, right? Like, this is crazy. This is all more modern stuff, but there's some whole mining mystery going on here too. This is so reminiscent of Mount Wilson all over again. Like nobody knows who owned it. There's obvious signs of heavy mining activity and equipment buried underground, but then no records of it. How? No records of it, at least known. All right, let's look out around this here. This is all like totally full of ash too. There's like tons of burn piles here. Look at this. There's all this like soot and charcoal, right? Campfire ash. A big fire came through. Something. There was definitely a mining operation right here though. Again, with the pump house and the water well, but it's all rigged up like it is to lift and lower stuff into a mine. Like, what the heck, guys? You know, the guys at Blind Frog Ranch right over the hill there have been looking for entrances into the underground and into the tunnel system. Oh, what do you call this? What do you call this, guys? This is more obvious of an entrance than at Mount Wilson. If they pulled this giant cable out of the underground right there, this isn't a spot to bury trash. This is a mine portal. Look at that. This probably goes way down underneath this whole mountain. Glass and all kinds of stuff in here. What the heck? Like, I don't know, again, am I standing on top of a shaft that goes down, or does this go into the mountain? What is this? Sage, triple flavor. What is this? That is so cool. Are these cigarettes? Is this a tobacco tin? Sage triple flavor. Something. Joy flavor. I can't read it. It's too rusty. That's cool. Anybody know what this is? This is definitely a mine entrance here when you start finding this kind of stuff on the ground, right? It's all burnt. Look at this. That's like full of iron. So somewhere right here was an appearance of another shaman figure. Native American, fully dressed in ancient garb, like the full like chieftain outfit. That's like straight out of the Skinwalker stories, right? Apparently saw him standing like somewhere right here. This all sounds so familiar, right? It's crazy. It's like a pattern imprinted across the country or something. Now I've got a modular sensor here. I'm going to start meditating, trying to connect with it. And we're going to walk right up here, follow this cow trail, and try to go along this whole ridge up here and see if we can find some petroglyphs or ancient carvings or something. If they haven't explored it all, I mean, possibilities are endless here. I thought that was a bee. Did you see me jump scare? Any one of these spots, you could turn a corner and there's something there. Here we go. Look at all this. This is like a whole cliff wall. We're gonna have to go down here. These rocks always look like faces and stuff to me. Don't they always look like they're shaped like heads and stuff? That's so funny. Look at this big like muskrat den going on in the rocks here. He's got like a whole fortress buried back up in there. He's got poop everywhere too. Come on, petroglyphs. Boy, this is a really promising spot. Anything? That's bat guano. That's from bats sitting there pooping. See that? It's all also very toxic and do not touch, but worth a lot of money actually in fertilizer. Bat guano. Not in that amount, so you gotta have tons of it, like whole caves full, but.
Here's another example of where I was looking at the unique, like strange looking alien-like rock formation on the top of the rock. And while I was walking around and filming it in the real time, I didn't even notice that there was obvious divot holes. So you can see them right in the bottom, kind of right center of the boulder face right here. You've got 4 of them. You've got 2 to the lower left and then 2 up to the right. And a lot of people would just say that these are bullet holes, but we know the history is already starting to play out at Thunderstrike Ranch. And we know that the Spanish were up here. We know that the Mormon pioneers came up through here, and there's been a lot of people that have lived up here, and these are really interesting, the shape and the potential caliber. If these are bullet holes in the rock, the potential of metal detecting around the bottom of this and finding some kind of a musket bullet or something that can help us date the time period is very possible. We might find a modern slug that could just be modern cowboys shooting up there, but also sometimes these drill holes were done by indigenous people. They would actually peck these out or drill these out with like a deer antler or a buffalo horn, and they were meant to be like a constellation or a marker. This could have been some kind of a depiction of the Big Dipper or something, but we don't want to jump to conclusions now. The point is, I missed this while I was walking around filming, and now upon editing and reviewing the footage, we're noticing a lot more that we can go back and double check.
Wow, the rock looks really cool, but it's not carved. So really take my time and look, slow down. Wow, it's beautiful. Doesn't that kind of look like a face? Sort of does. When I turn and look at it like that, it does not. But on the camera, it kind of looks like a Easter Island head or something, right? I still haven't found any petroglyphs, but I've stopped here because my intuition is just like screaming at me like, there's gotta be something here. Or maybe I'm on top, like see how there's these boulders down here below me here? There's like a whole ledge. Kind of surprised I haven't found any petroglyphs yet. But we're just getting started, and I gotta pace myself. I don't have to burn my legs out, right? First thing in the first half of the day, right? Take our time. I'm not exactly sure how I found it, but I'm back in the spot Donovan said where they found matate stones and flaking. One thing I'm definitely finding is rattlesnake skin, rattlesnake den, right back in there. See the skins. So we will have to keep our eyes peeled, watch where we put our feet down. But so what I would do, if this was like a campsite here, then there's a good chance that there's artifacts and things that have washed down. So exploring how the water flows down the hill right here would be really interesting. See what we find. This kind of stuff all looks like flaking. Tool making right here. Yeah, for sure. So this was some kind of a camp right here. Have to look around just a little bit, see what we can find. Pretty sparse right now. Check it out, I found a little scorpion. See that? He's cool. That's another thing we can do is you can get the black light. You can hike around with a black light and like spot scorpions, because the scorpions will actually glow in the dark. See him? He's cool. We'll leave him alone though. This definitely is. That's tool making right there for sure. So they were for sure up here. That's a good piece right there. It's not an arrowhead, but they were certainly making tools right here. I was just sitting over there, resting my legs, taking a coffee break. And then I wandered over here, set my backpack down on this stone to put my stuff away back into the backpack. And I don't know if this is obsidian. I'm going to freak out. I don't know if it is. This definitely looks flaked. Is it? Is this obsidian? Oh my goodness. It feels very close. This definitely was like flaked off though and tooled. I gotta take my sunglasses off. I don't know. Could just be like a piece of agate. That's an interesting one though. Rain's coming. It's nice and clear over there to the south, but right where I'm working, starting to cloud up. I've already felt a few raindrops, so I'm just kind of like wandering along the hilltops right now. I'm kind of tempted to drop over the edge and look for petroglyphs all along the ridge on the way back. But with that encampment site and the flaking and that like obsidian, I almost feel like up on the top in the flat areas we might run into like a medicine wheel or an more obvious campsite and metate stone. So just kind of want to look around a little bit up here, but not get rained out, right? No petroglyphs so far. If the Spanish were actually mining this whole hill, then somewhere along the base will be obvious signs of that. Tailings, entrances, wood scaffolding, artifacts laying around, or even just cart paths. You would see trails that looked like the ground was beaten in like a game trail a little bit from them carrying carts of gold and ore down in the valley to smelt. So we have to walk along this ridge and look for petroglyphs, but also look for those clues, for signs of any of that kind of mining activity, mine cart paths, all kinds of stuff. That's a really interesting boulder over there with geology on it. We might have to go take a look at that. If I go too far to the west, I'm going to be on Native American tribal grounds though, so I got to be really careful where I walk. Stay on the private property. For some reason out here, there's this weird split rock. It just looks perfectly cracked, and then there's this whole rope of baling twine that's just tied off to this limb for some reason right here. Like, I don't know what this would be doing here. Yeah, this rock looks pretty interesting. I'm sure it's natural, but didn't that split perfect? Crack. Kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not sure why that rope is right there. I still have not seen any petroglyphs, man. I've been looking everywhere, crawling all over this hill. But you never know, might be here. I've dropped back down onto this dirt road, and what I'm doing is kind of following up on this theory that if the Spanish gold smelters were right down there through that gap in the mountains, then there should be cart paths. We should be able to see where they were like riding their horses up through that valley across the meadow. I know it's all been farmed, but we should still be able to see cut across where you can see they were hauling their horses or their their cows or oxen, or if they had carts or whatever, if they had a mine shaft or an entrance or some kind of a support structure or anything like that up there where they were working, then there should be paths that we should be able to see cutting through the trail or through the environment, making like a trail. So I'm kind of just down on the road looking for any signs or clues of that. But no petroglyphs that I could find. We might just need to do like a group event where a bunch of people come and spread out and we see what we can find, right? Something like this. An indicator of a chopped off tree cut down that looks like a marker. Some kind of a post. Possibly. If that could be natural, it could be cut. It's hard to tell. This looks axe cut and it looks very old. Maybe not. Could have just twisted off. If this was axe cut, it was a long, long time ago. But then see, here you got this one that looks chopped, like chop, like an axe cut it. Like hand hewn and cut. And then you turn over here and there's another one right next to it. Chop, 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 right? So something would tell me there could be a mindset right up here somewhere. Or right around here somewhere. If that's a path, it's not much of a path. It's just more like a rainwater washout. Well, I don't know. I'm starting to get rained on though now. Getting rained out. But this is interesting. I think this is worth showing to Donovan. I don't know. Sometimes the early settlers would just cut those trees like that because they were convenient for fence posts or building structures or whatever they needed. But we're looking for any of these clues. Any of these signs like this. Could potentially point us in the direction of where an old mine entrance is. Maybe. It is called Thunderstrike Ranch for a reason, right? Big thunderstorm blowing in. It's not too bad, just a little drizzle. It's actually makes the weather feel really nice. I'm gonna go back to the cabin, hydrate up, eat some lunch and recover and get ready for tonight. We're gonna do some sky watching. Hopefully all of this blows over and we can see what we're doing. What do you think, Charlie? Should we get out of the rain? Do you wanna go inside? It's kind of nice actually. It's not really pouring, it's just like drizzling. It's been really hot, so it's kind of nice. I really am living the best life, aren't I? I am kind of living the dream right now, if this is what you're into. Got some cool dogs camping out in #1 UFO paranormal hotspot in the United States. Life is good. Life is pretty freaking good. Right? Dogs sure agree. Just sitting here enjoying the view, watching the rain roll in. It's so beautiful. Look at this place. Hey, what are you doing? I love this dog so much. Back when they were mining in the 1930s, 1940s, in some of these areas, and even before that, back when the Spanish were here, they had no idea about things like uranium or different types of deposit that gave off radiation. Did you hear that start to spike up? I might be able to see a cart path, because watch, when I come down here on the road like this. Charlie, what do you got there? Oh, good Lord, that's a dead leg.
There it is. It's still there, look. Another one. Two of them, look.
And she was abducted, her entire family was murdered, and she was brought back up here and actually kind of sold into an arranged marriage. And that all happened right where Skinwalker Ranch is. And when that occurred, and when Rose was taken from her family and they were all murdered, the Navajo enacted the Skinwalker curse upon that land. Randomly bloody nose.